What's going on, Dragon Brawlers? Scott Seven, your guild master, back again here for Players Guild, and today I'm joined by Lucky Smith. How are you doing, sir?
I'm in pain.
That's basically my entire existence, so welcome to the club. Um, I don't know if you've noticed anything different between the green graded and the yellow graded. Someone might have lost an entire head of hair, and by using the wrong razor number. Just might have happened, might not have happened. Oh well. But we're doing graded. This is yellow graded. It's our review series where we'll go over the entire color of the set. This today being yellow. We've done red, blue, green already on the channel, and then we'll give it a grade overall. Anything to add to that, Loki, before we get into it?
No, we have what? Yellow, black, multicolor left.
And then the full set, yes.
And then the full set. Yeah.
Cool, so without further ado, let's get into yellow, which retackles the oh god, what's the name of the film? What is the name of the film?
Tree of Might?
Is it just called Tree of Might? Why does that sound wrong now?
I know. I don't even know if it's called Tree of Might.
Well, I can't remember, but yeah, it's the Tree of Might saga, I guess. Or it's called Turles saga in this game, but yeah.
Yeah.
So we have a really interesting, another Sun Gohan childhood, youth. Don't shoot me. With a really interesting effect about field cards and flipping, and just a really different design for a yellow leader. What do you make of Gohan?
It reminds me a bit of a launch, but more, or rather harder controlled, because you can't choose when you're going to flip.
Mm.
I think it's easier to control because you just need to have those extra cards, and there's plenty of them. But I think Gohan is going to suffer from a very, very big problem: not having combo power.
I could see that. I could see that. As we'll get into it, you'll see further of that, and then Tails, an interesting Tails, which I mean, still has that permanent, which probably a good thing. And then you start with your Tree of Might in play, which is really cool. I love that from a theme standpoint. Um,
There's a couple of things I don't like about the fact that you start with a unison in play.
okay,
Like the fact that your free counter plays are live from turn 1.
that's true because I think it starts with two markers, correct?
Yeah, it starts with 2
Yeah.
Even if it didn't,
Oh yeah, you
you
could just
get
plus
to
it.
plus
Yeah,
1
yeah.
at the start of opponent's turn. So even if it started with 1 marker, it would be up to 3.
Yeah.
Doesn't matter if you go first or second as well.
Yeah, that's true.
So
That's true.
the difference is between this Tails and the old Tails is that the Tree of Might in the green Tails would not proc if your opponent went first. Because for that green Tree of Might, you need to have energy. For the Unison one, it gets the marker and you get to flip your life even if your opponent goes first, because it only checks that your leader is a Yellow Tails Crusher Corp.
That's actually pretty neat. Which I guess let's bring us to some Yonisons. We have the Kaioken. They've done it on the site, and now I can't unsee it.
They did it on this one as well.
Why did I not like the word Kaioken?
I don't know, but I just noticed that they did it on this one as well.
Bandai! Stop it! Errata your website, damn it.
Errata or errata.
What a crazy thing. So this is a fine unison. I don't think it's anything special. But it's okay.
I mean, it can pacify your opponent's battle card. It's about that. But the problem in Dragon Ball is that they can drop it and attack with it immediately.
Yeah.
And then you need to survive that attack, and it needs to do whatever it is going to do what it needs to do, and then you can pacify it for 1 turn, but I don't know. Just doesn't feel like enough.
No, I think that's fair. I think that's fair. Then we'll talk about the Tree of Might, which obviously starts in play, which is a crazy cool card. Has a lot of utility. It can't attack because it's a tree. Although Finn makes this card able to attack, which is probably one of my funnest interactions I've ever seen in this game.
I mean, haven't you watched Harry Potter?
That's very true. That is very true indeed.
One of the scariest thing about this Tree of Might is it's 16,000.
Yeah, so really awkward to attack into, especially early game.
It's defensive 20,000 essentially.
Yeah.
So
Um,
even though your opponent can attack it immediately, well, beside the very first turn, so if your opponent goes second, technically they can attack it immediately. They need to commit to get a hit.
yeah. Yeah, right. And then even then, it's gonna, like I said, it starts with 2 marks on it. If it's your opponent's turn, it's gonna go up to 3. Yeah, it's a nasty little piece of work. Really cool unison overall though. I think like it's interesting. Thankfully, yellow doesn't have one of the more broken uh free counterplays.
Counterattacks?
Yeah, no, because Vegeta's counterplay. SS4 Vegeta's counterplay.
Yeah, no, but in that same set, we also got counterattacks, dormant potential.
What did we get for yellow?
Release from evil.
Ah, yeah, that's okay.
That was the one that was stopping the green Gohan childhood.
Then we get into this Goku, which is absolutely fantastic. I love Son Goku, a gift from the earth. It's just a genuinely really exciting card for me. Like, I like what it introduces. I like I mean, the artwork's just great for it. Um, I don't know. Like, it's an interesting card with all of the effects and how it interacts with one another. But I just really like the fact that it's a nice 5 cost, but it plays with your markers, if that makes sense.
I'm just going to say that this card is scary in turles, and they did it again when in yellow the SR is better in the opposite deck.
Yeah, right. Like you think this is a Gohan card?
No, it's a turles card
It's a
because
Tails card.
if a turles goes first, charge yellow, opponent's turn, the tree goes to 3 markers, your turn, charge yellow, play Goku.
Yeah,
Then you
exactly.
can play him on turn 2 in turles.
And that's like, I mean, it's not okay because he's not the most like he's not like quad strike, dual attack or anything like that. But it's still a force. He's still
He's a 25k double strike, right?
yeah. Potentially right if you spirit boost him up.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's still right. Like that could be some really good early game aggro, and you're not
Even a
really
2-drop 20k blocker on turn 2.
yeah.
Because he's a blocker.
Yeah, really good point. Really good point. Then we have Son Goku Steadfast Assistance Alliance. Nope, Assistance. Scott. Uh,
Alliance is the red-green.
Probably one of the best cards out of the set. Honestly, it's just so good.
Uh, okay, so yeah. This is actually... So you play this, you rest the card that is being played, you draw a card, and this is still a blocker.
Mhm.
And you can use it in any deck that runs yellow extra cards because it checks battle area, energy area, and drop area.
Yeah.
Yeah,
It's awesome. I really like this card. Gohan on the Misadventures of Gohan. It's fine.
we got a lot of apes in this set because we have the green apes and then we have the yellow apes again.
Yeah, I like seeing apes. It's always fun. Um, it's fine. It's a Gohan card. It does what it needs to do. It works with how the leader awakens or well flips over.
Yeah.
Like yeah, it's a nice engine piece, right? I think that's
But it does have that keyword, that permanent, that essentially stops it being useful for successor.
yes. Thank God. They have to be super careful with that now. Then we have Gohan and Icarus Best Buds, which card's kind of really good. I actually really like this guy. He's a searcher, and he also procs up your flipping.
Um, Oh, yeah, it's that awkward one that gives 1k power to you.
1k! But it's
Yeah.
activate battle, so 1k could be enough.
Yeah, no, it can be enough to defend. And definitely makes it awkward when you're attacking.
So yeah, really cool card. And it's only a common, so that's cool. Then we have the naming convention battle at the tree, which is awesome. You get Krillin here, which is it's fine. I don't. He's cool because you get to activate from the drop, and I think that's actually kind of understated, especially with a deck that you're going to be putting field cards in the drop area.
Yeah, but the problem with this deck is that you're going to be running between 12 and 15
Yeah,
field cards.
yeah, it's
Which
going to be
is a lot.
it's a
I
lot.
don't think King Cold was running that many.
Yeah, exactly. It's a lot. Then we have Piccolo Battle of the Tree, another SR. Very interesting counter. I thought I'm still not sure where I land on if it's good or not, but I do like it.
So I like the card, but let's be honest, it's for one deck only.
Yeah.
Because
Which
it is very specific field extra card that you need.
yeah,
It's a good blocker, and when we were looking at the reveals of Gohan, this is literally a card that I called is going to happen.
yeah, and it's good, but like it's very niche. I guess that's the breakdown of it. Is its applications are very niche.
Yeah.
Yeah. Then we have Tien, Shinhan, and Xiaozu battle at the tree, which is a blocker, but it is also one of those on guard type cards of when your opponent plays a battle card with an energy cost of greater. Oh, this isn't by oh, it is by a skill. Okay, I got myself confused there.
Yeah.
But it's an on guard card, but it just has battle at the tree. And this one rests it, which is on theme for yellow.
Yeah,
Whereas
rests itself and rests the opposing
Raditz
ones.
minus is a card, and Nappa makes you discard.
Yes.
I believe. I don't think we saw one in blue yet.
I don't think we have seen a blue one.
Yeah, so it's
I
cool.
mean, what would you do in blue?
Bounce.
But you can't bounce the same card that is being played, right?
That's true.
That's way more powerful than
Yeah, that's a good point.
the rest. You can't untap an energy. You can't really, can you?
I don't know. Interesting. Well,
That's the thing. I think that's why there was no blue one.
it's like shit. What do we do?
Yeah.
Then we get Yamcha Battle of the Tree, which is our super combo. But considering the green Yamcha we got, like, all right, well, I'll let you off. 4 or less life, you can draw a card. I'll let you off, Yamcha. Then Icarus Battle at the Tree. It's okay. Like the fact when you combo it, you can draw a card, which reminds me of like the Villainous Cell, the starter deck Goku.
Yeah.
But it has,
I think the more important one is when you play him, you can do the same thing, and then he has a blocker.
Yeah, that's true. Like he is a blocker and he will stop an attack. So yeah, it's cool.
Yeah.
Then we have a nice skillless Icarus all curled up. Really cool artwork. Then Wilderness Monster, which is fantastic. I love the artwork on that card. Then we get into some very interesting cards here. Tails Great Ape Manipulator. Very interesting card with a lot of uses, I feel.
I mean, a one-drop blocker is always useful, but I know that's not what we're on about, is it? It's about that Tails Powerball.
Yeah.
You can activate that Powerball from your deck or drop.
Or drop, right? Like,
yeah.
That's...
And if you have an ape to give to your opponent, it's just drawing more cards. And then you can keep on gaining control of that ape. And I think there is going to be a strategy there. Where you will find a way to evolve on top of that ape.
I could see that. So really exciting shout there. Tails All Too Easy. Again, one of the best cards printed in this set. So good. So good. Pay 2. If you've got 3 or more energy, you're playing this guy as long as your leader's a mono yellow Saiyan. Like,
yeah,
just really good. it doesn't like. I mean, the effect's also really good because when it's played, you choose it to one of your opponent's battle cards in rest mode, KO it, and choose
But it's
one.
a similar power level to that Goku, right? It's a 2-drop 20k body.
Yeah,
But in
and
this
has
case,
double
you need
strike.
to have free energy.
Yeah, it's really good. I mean, it's probably a good thing you need free energy because yeah, you could have done this on turn one, which well, turn two because you need two
Turn 2,
energy.
yeah.
Um,
But Goku you can do in turn 2.
yeah, like it's crazy, crazy cool card. Then we have Power of the Tree, which is fine.
It is for the deck, right?
Yeah, it's an engine piece. Like it's just fine.
It
like I
just
don't,
lets you set up those Tails Crusher calls in your life. You get to combo them later on.
yeah, it's interesting. And then we got Amon Power at the Tree, which they're all gonna have a similar effect here,
Yeah.
like we saw with the green version of Tails. And then of course, when this card player chooses one of your opponent's battle cards, when it's cost of 4 or less in rest mode and KO, that's nice, but at the cost of Spirit Boost 1, that's kind of costly in my opinion.
Yeah. It's not only that it's very restricted, because we have seen that battle cards with cost of 4 or less in rest mode don't usually happen. Or
No,
if they do, they have barrier.
that is true. Yeah.
Or they don't matter. So you wouldn't want to be spending your precious spirit boost on this.
Yeah, yeah, right. Unless like there's a card that works with like when you spirit boost something, you can get an effect. Yeah, otherwise this isn't great. Dies on the other hand, I really like Dies.
Uh,
It's essentially a deadly defender, but you can't attack a unison instead.
I
It's really
mean,
cool.
he has a barrier. He's a 9k power, so yeah, it's easy to get rid of him, unlike Deadly Defenders.
Yeah, true, because they had what 15k.
Yeah, a 20k during your turn, 15 during your opponent's.
Yeah, but I like it, and then also he has the ability to just play your unison
Yeah, play your unison back from the drop.
or deck. Like
Yeah.
he's really
I
good.
don't think you would run more than one of that 3 if you can run 4 of the dice as well.
Oh yeah, right. Why? Yeah, why would you? Yeah.
Because then you go getting stuck with so many useless unison cards.
Oh,
Unless
I
you just
guess I
want to.
could put it underneath for an extra market. Why bother? Why bother?
Yeah.
You start with it in play. You can
You're just
recur it.
minusing yourself. You don't really need to do that, so
Yeah,
it's just
I
weird.
actually think that's a really nice tech call there. And then we get into Cacao Power of the Tree. Uh,
Wasn't he a super combo?
he was a super combo in green.
Hmm.
Again, choose a Tree of Might and then place it underneath it. Add a marker. So again, replacing that need to put more Tree of Mights in your deck because you have essentially what is a Tree of Might in your hand. I mean,
So this
it has
this
to be done
one
from field though.
essentially. So you need to have him on board, and then you put him underneath your Tree of Might to give it additional marker. But you can at least get an attack out of it first,
Yeah, exactly,
and you play him for free.
exactly. So a swing and a marker for free. It's pretty good.
Mm.
It's pretty good. Uh, oh, sorry, Raisin, which is essentially basically the same thing as the green version. It plays Lacacy, and then Lacacy does the same thing, plays Raisin.
And the Raisin has the blocker.
Yeah, it's like pretty similar. It's cool, nice
They do,
artwork.
they do exactly the same, just for mono yellow,
Yeah, yeah,
and they need to be comboed from life.
yeah. It's fine. They're fine. Then we'll get into the extra cards here, the field cards. Forest Fire, which upsets me greatly looking at the artwork of it. Uh, and then yeah, like it's this one's okay.
It's a bit worse. Planet Vegeta, right?
Yeah,
Just a bit worse because it needs to be a mono yellow Saiyan with cost of 4.
yeah,
Whereas Planet Vegeta was any Saiyan with cost 4 or less.
yeah. It's a bit more restrictive, but pretty similar. And then of course it has the extra auto effect to help you with flipping over, which is really nice. Like I think that's actually really important. Then we have Nature's Revival. It's a desire.
Yay! Where's my new wish leader? Oh, we got Machikabura, right?
Yeah, he can use two two skillless monsters. I mean, you could potentially
Oh
make
yeah,
an
he can
argument
use
for that.
desires all day long.
The thing is, we're seeing these odd desires come out, and I'm like, it has to mean something. Otherwise, what's the point?
Just to tease us.
Probably, but also again, this card's artwork is phenomenal. It's iconic to the UK for like the Dragon Ball Z opening they used. It's so good. It's so
One
good.
thing I'm really upset about is it plays them in rest mode. So you're
Yeah,
playing a 10k and a 20k in a rest mode, and why?
successor. Dab.
Yay, you pay 2 energy to get a free drop. But then your 10k is going to go either way.
Yeah. We'll see, right? Like we'll see what we can get out of it. Then we get Icarus's home, which look at that. Look at him. He's giving a lick to Goku. Goku's so happy, and Gohan's just like, yeah. It's so good. Has the end of turn, put it in the drop area to help flip over your Great Ape slash Gohan leader. Um,
But you can also, when it is put in the drop area,
you
by
can
any means, you can pay 2 energy to play a monster card with cost 2 from your hand.
Yeah, so a few good targets with that. Thankfully,
The
not
problem is that
the
you are essentially hard casting that monster card.
true. But like if it happens at the end of your opponent's turn, which it does,
You would still need to have energy that technically you could use during your turn to play the same card.
yeah, yeah, okay, that makes sense. Yeah, I guess it's if you don't have the energy, like if you don't use the energy because you want to keep it for defense, but then if there's nothing to defend, then you might as well tap out and play it, and then
I can
untap at the
understand that
start.
if the 2 energy would matter, but why didn't they put it at 1 energy to give you that discount? Because you are losing a card to get this.
Yeah, you're not wrong. Yeah, yeah, it's weird. It's weird. It's weird. Scout, one of my favorite artworks of the set. Just like, come here, child.
Really?
Um,
I thought it was going to be Demon's Playtime.
there's a lot of great artworks in this set. Like, it's just so good. I love this set so much from a theme standpoint. If your leader card is a yellow tails and you choose one of your opponent's cards in active mode, your opponent may switch this chosen card to rest mode. If they don't, choose it to one of your opponent's battle cards and gain control of it. I don't know.
I
I don't know, but I love it.
I guess you choose the blocker.
I yeah, yeah. Because if you
Uh,
don't switch it to rest, I mean, it could
I
be.
mean, they don't know what you're going to gain control of.
Yeah. It also leads into where probably running in a one or two of the Ginyu tech
Mm.
if you run this, because obviously
Do
it
you really think you could? I think Guinea Tech is mostly for the
Mechi.
Turles Powerball, which we're going to see,
Well,
because
yeah,
that
that
takes
too.
control of the ape.
That too. I mean, paying two for it feels bad. But yeah, well, I mean, I'm curious. I'm curious if people can make Scout work. But yeah, then Tails Powerball, which we've referenced earlier in the video, it's a really interesting card. That is
I
what I will
like it
say.
mostly because you can tutor it and reactivate it from the drop.
The fact that you can recur it is very important.
Yeah.
The fact that you're always benefiting from it is really cool. And I guess you don't really need to use the activate min. It's kind of there if it works, but you don't need it.
I mean, essentially what I'm looking at is activating this, giving my opponent an ape, drawing 2 cards, and sure, let him swing at me so I can get a card out of that in form of a life. Or if he wants to swing at the tree, oh well, I'll lose a marker. Next turn, I'm taking control of it, attacking with it. Uh, oh wait, not necessarily attacking with it because it doesn't switch it to act.
No, you just gain control of it.
Yeah, so taking control of it and then either evolving on top of it if we can find some cool interactions there, or just using Ginyu.
Yeah. To get a double strike on board, right? A 20k double strike for
Yeah,
free.
exactly.
Well, technically 1 energy in this case, but yeah. Um,
And you remove that card you gave your opponent. But that changes the fact that in the whole interaction, you lost 1 card to draw 2.
yeah. Yeah,
I don't mind paying 2 energy for that.
it's solid. It's definitely solid. It's a very interesting card, and I like how they're changing up. We kind of saw it with what's it called, Young Invaders, um, but this feels like a more brave approach, right? Like you're giving something objectively your opponent could probably use,
Yes.
whereas Young
I'm going
Invaders
to
are
say
just there
that
to be a detriment.
this card is actually not that bad in Gohan either.
No, it's not because it's green or yellow Saiyans. It's nothing Tails Crusher related.
Yeah.
Um,
And even though it says choose up to 1 of your Turles cards, it's essentially activate battle that you can pop yourself whenever you want to.
which
So you
then
can,
flips you.
yep.
Yeah, it's
And
cool.
you will be running some of the apes in Gohan as well, just to uh, try to proc that draw as well.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, you just choose 0, right?
Yeah.
Oh, and I've met the condition. Boom. Cool. Then Forbidden Power, which, I mean, we're just going to go to the SPR because that SPR is so good. And the card's also really good as well. Like, the card is really good. I love this card.
Yeah, the activate battle is both activate battle and counterattack. Counterattack is essentially dormant potential with no discard.
Yeah.
Just for the battle cards. So it's essentially Nimbus with no discard. Just doesn't negate the attack.
Yeah, that's the important thing here. It doesn't negate, but it also floodgates, essentially.
Yeah. But only battle cards. So Unisons and
Oh,
Leader
I didn't
are
notice that.
still.
I thought, yeah, sorry. Okay, yeah, that is a good distinction to know. I missed that.
It's a fair game, yeah. But still, the activate battle. During your turn, you can choose 1 of your opponent's battle cards, ignoring Barrier, which, yeah, switch it to rest mode, and then give 10,000 power for the battle. Sure.
Hugely important for
Yeah.
any yellow card deck.
Oh, I will swing with this weenie. Something? Nothing? Oh, okay. I'll pay 1, 10k combo, and I'm going to rest that annoying blocker of yours.
Yeah, it's so handy because a lot of yellow stuff relies on things being in rest mode.
Yeah.
And barrier's kind of an issue at that in that regard. This kind of helps get around that. And it goes one step further, right? Because then you even get a 10k boost, so you're paying that 110 that you would for a higher combo,
Yeah.
but you're getting a yellow effect on it. And yeah, I love it. I think it's a really great card. Like, and the artwork again, that SPR is it's brutal. Like, it's brutal. Then we get power. Power at the Tree of Might, Blessing at the Tree of Might. Interesting card, 1 drop. Choose 1 of your cards. It gets 5k battle for each marker on your opponent's Unison card.
Yeah. Let's be honest, it's going to be a scary finisher against any unison-oriented deck that you don't care of markers of, because they don't have a good ultimate, like the Tree of Might.
Yeah.
Tree of Might just flat out doesn't have a good ultimate.
That, yeah, right, yeah, I get, so that makes sense in a regard.
It's a peculiar card.
It's fun.
I don't think it's sideboard worthy though.
Oh no, I think it's a nice little bit of flavor to the set, but overall, I don't think it's going to be. I mean, to be
I think
fair,
it's going to be good in limited format, but sadly, Dragon Ball is not known for its limited format.
yeah,
So.
I think that's a really good assessment there. So yeah, where do we land on this? So very interesting in terms of mono. I know Tails kind of gets some green yellow support to bridge a gap, but in terms of his
What do
deck,
we
I
have
feel
seen
like
here?
it's still realized with the Battle at the Tree of Might, not Battle at the Tree of Might. Are they called Battle at the Tree of Mights? The Tails Crusher Corps in this one. What are they? What's their naming convention?
I don't know.
Helpful.
As always.
Power of the Tree. Power of the Tree. I knew they had a naming convention. So you got the Power of the Tree cards for the Tails deck and the Battle of Tree of Might cards for the Gohan deck, and I think both have merits and both are very on theme to what they are trying to do. I think we have some amazing SRs, like some of the best SRs in the set. I want to say of the Unison Warriors series in regards to at least the Goku and the counter. It's
The
early to
Tails
say.
is not bad.
Pardon?
Tails is not bad. The counter attack is really good.
The counterplay though, the counterplay Goku is so good. I can't stress this enough. Like Steadfast Alliance. I'm looking at it and I'm seeing assistance and I'm just like, yeah, it's Alliance. My brain works in very strange ways sometimes. But yeah, overall,
Yeah, there's lots of amazing generic yellow stuff in here.
yeah.
But at the same time, it doesn't feel like any of those SRs, beside the one Piccolo, is designed for any of those decks.
No, they kind of feel like it does work, but it's more to help
It's kind
yellow.
of, it works because it's a good card.
Yeah.
Not it works because it's a good card for this.
Yeah.
You could slap any character on this, any naming convention, it would be as good. You could slap a Namekian on that Steadfast Assistance.
Yeah.
No one would care. It would do exactly the same thing.
Exactly, and I think you've kind of touched upon it quite a few times in the video. Is them like a lot of these cards between the two decks are interchangeable.
Yeah.
So you can run Powerball in Gohan, and you can run Tails in Gohan, and you can run Goku in Tails, and
yeah.
So
because that 5-drop Tails, that 3-drop Goku and 5-drop Goku are just generically good cards. You will run 4 of each in both decks when we're doing Untap Potential. I don't imagine it otherwise, because both of those decks can use them.
Yeah, I concur. I concur wholeheartedly. That being said, overall, I am going to give this colour an A. I still think there's a lot here. I think it's very fun to play. I think it adds a lot of tools to the arsenal. It's technically legacy support with Tails, Crusher Corps, technically. And I like the flipping of the monkey.
So all of those cards, do you know the ones that we are talking about, the SRs, do you know what they remind me of heavily?
Go on.
Draft box.
Elaborate.
Draft box super rares were done in a way that they're good on their own.
Mm-hmm.
They don't need any elaborate support. They don't need any elaborate build-up. Those feel like super rares that were designed for a draft box, but then the draft boxes got discontinued.
Okay. I can see the argument. I can see the argument for sure.
That being said, I think the cards are solid, and I think the SR slot in yellow beside Piccolo is not going to feel bad when you open it. I think from that point of view, it's nice. But then it breaks a bit what we have seen in green and blue.
Yeah, no,
Where it's more thematic.
Yeah.
So yellow on its own, I'm going to go into more of a tangent when we're going to go for the full set. Yellow on its own, I agree with you, it's A.
Mm.
But yellow, as far as it stands right now, doesn't fit in this set.
Yeah, I think that's a really great point. Like Broly fits Broly. You've got we're done with Goten, right? Goten's dead. Goten is dead to me. We'll never talk about Goten again. But blue is U6. It's very, very on theme, and then of course green is
very
probably...
on theme. It doesn't have that enemies point that in here we have, but it's on theme at least, and you can pinpoint what goes where.
Yeah, this kind of you know where things go because you know the game, you know the franchise, you know everything. But in terms of in reality, they can just mix and match, and it doesn't really matter.
Yeah, the only thing that's really locked is the Turles Crasher core, and that's about that.
Yeah. So overall, both giving it an A. We're not saying it's bad, but it is just something to point out that yeah, like the cards are good, but they're so good that it doesn't matter which deck you kind of pick from this set because you're gonna use them in either, which you know kind of hurts from a on theme deck building standpoint, which we like to do here at Players Guild. So until next time, guys. I'm not sure when this goes out. It won't be today because we're doing Untapped Potential today. So when you see this, we've already done the Goku versus Vegeta battle. So hopefully I won with Vegeta, but I don't think I will. I come back tomorrow because we'll have black cards because black is a color.